Welcome, writers, to lesson 7A. And today, really excited because today we're going to finish the book Fox. I'm going to start way back at the beginning, but this time I'm reading it all the way through the end. So we're finally going to find out how this book ends. Okay? Now, I am going to apologize right up in front because my dog's a little barky right now, so he might bark during the video, and I do apologize for that. But without further ado, I don't think we need to share. I think we just need to have a nice big, be able to see the book, and I will read the book, and I apologize if my dog starts barking in the middle of it. So, Fox by Margaret Wilde and Ron Brooks. Do that page so you can see the picture. Through the charred forest, over hot ash, runs Dog with a bird clamped in his big, gentle mouth. He takes her to his cave above the river, and there he tries to tend to her burnt wing. But Magpie does not want this help. "I will never again be able to fly," she whispers. "I know," says Dog. He is silent for a moment, then he says, "I am blind in one eye, but life is still good." "An eye is nothing," says Magpie. "How would you feel if you couldn't run?" Dog does not answer. Magpie drags her body into the shadow of the rocks until she feels herself melting into blackness. Days, perhaps a week later, she wakes with a rush of grief. Dog is waiting. He persuades her to go with him to the riverbank. If he's persuading her, it means that she doesn't really want to go, but he gets her to go, right? "Hop on my back," he says. "Look into the water and tell me what you see." Sighing, Magpie does as he asks. Reflected in the water are clouds and sky and trees and something else. "I see a strange new creature," she says. "That is us," said Dog. "Now hold on tight." With Magpie clinging to his back, he races through the scrub, past the stringy barks, past the clumps of yellow box trees, and into blueness. He runs so swiftly, it is almost as if he were flying. Magpie feels the wind streaming through her feathers, and she rejoices. "Fly, Dog, fly. I will be your missing eye, and you will be my wings." And we've spent a lot of time talking about how Magpie has changed up to this point. She was sad at the beginning of the story, but now she rejoices. Now she is happy. She feels like she's flying. And so Dog runs with Magpie on his back every day through summer, through winter. Here we go. After the rains, when saplings are springing up everywhere, a fox comes into the bush. Fox with his haunted eyes and his rich red coat. He flickers through the trees like a tongue of fire, and Magpie trembles. But Dog says, "Welcome! We can offer you food and shelter." "Thank you," says Fox. "I saw you running this morning, and you looked extraordinary." Dog beams, but Magpie shrinks away. She can feel Fox staring at her burnt wing. So we've talked also about how Dog welcomes Fox, and he doesn't really notice how Magpie is feeling with Fox coming into the cave. In the evenings, when the air is creamy with blossom, Dog and Magpie relax at the mouth of the cave, enjoying each other's company. Now and again, Fox joins in the conversation, but Magpie can feel him watching, always watching her. And at night, his smell seems to fill the cave, a smell of rage and envy and loneliness. Now, we've talked a lot about character traits when we talked about Dog. Rage and envy and loneliness, those are the words being used to describe Fox. And the smell that he's giving off. Magpie tries to warn Dog about Fox. He belongs nowhere, she says. He loves no one. But Dog says, he's all right. Let him be. That night, when Dog is asleep, Fox whispers to Magpie, I can run faster than Dog, faster than the wind. Leave Dog and come with me. Magpie says, I will never leave Dog. I am his missing eye, and he is my wings. So Fox is tempting her, but she's resisting it at first. Fox says no more that night, but the next day when Dog is at the river, he whispers to Magpie, do you remember what it's like to fly? Truly fly? And again, Magpie says, I will never leave Dog. I am his missing eye, and he is my wings. But later that day, as Dog runs through the scrub with Magpie on his back, she thinks, this is nothing like flying. Nothing. And when at dawn, Fox whispers to her for the third time, she whispers back, I am ready. That's where we stopped before. So Fox really puts this idea in her head. Here we go. Here's the new stuff. Well, Dog sleeps. Magpie and Fox streak past columbine trees, rip through the long grass, pelt over rocks. Fox runs so fast that his feet scarcely touch the ground, and Magpie exults, at last I am flying, really flying. So, wow, Fox is faster than Dog, and Magpie feels like she's truly flying. Fox scorches through woodlands, through dusty points, through salt pans, and out into the hot red desert. What's going to happen? What do you think? Any predictions? He stops, scarcely panting. There in the silence between them, neither moves, neither speaks. Then Fox shakes Magpie off his back as he would a flea and pads away. What? He turns and looks at Magpie and he says, now you and Dog will know what it is like to be truly alone. Then he is gone. In the stillness, Magpie hears a faraway scream. She cannot tell if it is a scream of triumph or despair. So what did Fox do? He brought her into the middle of the desert, the hot, hot desert, shakes her off his back, and tells her, now you'll know what it's like to be alone, you and Dog. What? What's going to happen to Magpie, alone in the desert, with only one wing? Magpie huddles, a scruff of feathers adrift in heat. She can feel herself burning into nothingness. It would be so easy just to die here in the desert. Remember, she can't fly. How is she going to get out of the desert? Can she get out of the desert? But then she thinks of Dog waking to find her gone. So here she is, thinking it would be easy to die in this desert, but then she thinks of Dog waking to find her gone. What would Dog do when he wakes up and finds her gone? Slowly, jittery hop, she begins the long journey home. The end. There's no more pages. So that concludes the book Fox. So today we learned that Fox does tempt Magpie, brings her all the way into the desert, and leaves her there in the hot, hot desert. And she could easily just give up. She has no wings. She cannot fly. But what makes her go on? She thinks of her friend dog. She thinks of her friend dog, and she starts her journey home, hopping or walking because she can't fly. And that is the story Fox. I cannot wait to hear your thoughts about how the book ended when we meet together live. Until tomorrow, happy thinking, writers.